most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, No Filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as usual, is the co-host with the most, Jive Turkey Nano. How the hell are you, brother?
Let's go. Doing great, my brother. Great to see you as always. Happy Wednesday to you, to the crew, to everybody here tuned in as always, whether you're live and thriving with us or you're checking it out later. We appreciate your ears, and man, we can't wait to dive in, my brother. Great to see you, like I said, and great to see the chat already buzzing. Here we go. Lethal Sugar. What to do, baby? Can't wait to dive in, man.
Lethal Sugar. Let's go. We are back, baby. Olin and Nano
right.
To the moon. That's right, baby.
Go.
Let's fucking go.
That neon moon, baby. Come
From
on.
your lips to God's ears, Sugar. Let's go all day, baby. We are here and we are happy. It is Wednesday. We've made it over the hump of hump day. And my friend, we're done with work. Now it's time to sail off into the sunset that is Wednesday evening and talk about UFC Nashville. What a card. I don't know if maybe I just really missed having UFC fights or what, but man. Sean Moody, Manual Ram 2005, Nash Vegas, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, Sean. You right.
Let's go. What's up, Sean? Hope you're having a great day, my friend. I love this guy. He's got a great sense of humor. The stuff he sends me on Instagram is always like money, dude. Funny stuff.
Gotta love that.
Top-notch memes. Yeah, man. Look, I don't know if it's because we had a week off. And, you know, they say absence makes the heart grow fonder or some shit. And, you know, I think it's true. I do. Because am I crazy or is this a low-key banger of a free fight night card?
It really is, my brother. It really is. I think, you know, like you said, the distance makes the heart fonder. Time makes it even more fonder. And, you know, I think we're a little over rambunctious for this card. And it's not just because of the 2-week layout, but getting two heavyweights in the main card is fire. Some good narratives throughout this card as well as we started to peel back the onion layers here. Yeah, man, it's a good one. And don't sleep on it. And again, I think we mentioned it yesterday as we were breaking down our Tough Talk episode, The Ultimate Fighter. If you're tuned into that, go check it out. It is on the channel. Have some good thoughts and tings. But yeah, man, I do think that this is a low-key banger. And there are some fun narratives in this fight. It's kind of like a changing of the guard. You know, we're curious to see where we both lie when it comes to how we're feeling about it. There you go.
Absolutely, man. I'm definitely curious to see kind of where the sword may fall for some of these fights, because I feel like we're going to be butting heads on a lot of these, man. I don't know why. I got a feeling there's at least 3 fights that I can think of right now that I think we're going to have opposing opinions on. But thoughts and tings like that. Let's go, Jalen. What's up, brother? Always love seeing you in the chat, man. Hope we see you in Vegas next year too. And man, hope to see you in San Diego much sooner than that. My guy, love seeing you in the chat. And Sean Moody brought something up, and I think we should probably talk about that before we even get into UFC Nashville. Nano, it is a big fight week with women's boxing. You know he's talking about Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, part 3. Now, if you remember this fight, it's because you did tune in to the flop fest or sad fest that was Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. My name is Jake. And man, those women stole the show. But if you saw the first fight, you'd know the second fight was a little bit of what the shampoo bottle says, right? Little rinse, wash, and repeat. I thought thought Amanda Serrano was winning those fights, and Katie Taylor. I don't want to throw shade, but hey, there's a little bit of shade at you. I think she used that head of hers and accidentally just happened to headbutt her opponent in both fights and split her head open. Probably the most significant strike Katie Taylor landed in both of those fights, in my opinion. I think if this fight doesn't have a headbutt, Amanda Serrano should win. And by the way, what was it, like $10 million, $20 million that Jake Paul bet Mike Tyson via Twitter on this fight?
Hey, I mean, that's a good thought, my brother. I mean, honestly, I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited for this whole card, honestly. It's going to be a banger.
It is going to be a banger, man. It is going to be a banger. Who do you have? Do you have Taylor or you got Serrano in this one?
Yeah, man.
History repeats itself?
No, well, so actually, I guess I do, right? Because Serrano.
Katie's 2-0.
Katie is 2-0.
Yep.
Okay.
Against Serrano.
Man, I like Amanda Serrano. Honestly,
I do too. She's up like what, 2 weight classes for the fight, like both times or all 3 times. So
yeah, she looked absolutely game in that last one. I mean, and she's actually the Ben favorite right now, which is I think why I was wanting to confirm.
What?
Yeah, let me go back here on our preferred sports bet.
What?
But I am seeing Katie Taylor plus 140, Amanda Serrano minus 180 for Friday's bout. So that kind of almost maybe spit out my coffee here, made me want to reconfirm that I do like my hunch. I like where my gut is saying, and I like what I saw in that last matchup, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor too. I think I like Amanda Serrano in this one to get the upset. Or I guess in this case, be the betting favorite here and fulfill the prophecy. How are you feeling about this, brother? And I heard a uh-oh in there. Talk to the people. What are we seeing?
Well, I looked at boxing odds, and I scrolled down to another card that's happening on Saturday, July 19th. And Alexander Usyk is being allowed to box again. I hate that.
We suck again.
I mean, the dude's been knocked out way too many times. And he openly said in his last fight, like after the divorce, alimony and things like that, like he has no money to his name and he's only doing this to try and make money to survive. And they're putting him against fucking Daniel Dubois. Fucking Christ, bro. That's
That's a big, expensive paycheck there.
Whoever the promoter is that's putting this on should be ashamed of themselves. And I don't understand why Alexander Usyk is. Sorry. I'm confusing him with the UFC fighter. No. Usyk the cat. Never mind. That's why he's a favorite. He's gonna win that fight. That's actually a good fight. Okay. No. My God. It's been a long day. Of work.
We're good. We're back on track.
Yeah, I was. Oh man. I was thinking of the UFC fighter that literally has been knocked out like 20 times. Cool. We're back. Sorry, I went on that little roller coaster there, folks. But man.
So we both are thinking Serrano, because I thought I saw enough from that second fight. I think it was a close enough bout. She didn't get the win, but I thought
she won.
Yeah, agreed.
Everybody in the bar I was at, shout out Bottle Rocket Bar and Grill in San Diego. Shout out the brother-in-law. Everybody at Bottle Rocket thought that Serrano won. It felt like the crowd was deflated going into the Tyson fight. Thank you, Lazy. Yeah, I was thinking of Alexi. Someone drug test. I would fail.
He's on the juice.
It depends on what drugs you're testing for, but I'd likely fail. I'm just gonna call a spade here, folks. There's no filter.
He's on the golf for it right now. Is what he's on. Come on.
I'm on it, baby. Let's go. I'm on more juice than a Tropicana factory. I love that Chell said that at International Fight Week. It was fucking hilarious.
Fantastic line. Yep.
I actually like Serrano in this fight.
And I don't blame him.
I might have to put like 2 units on Serrano and 2 units on Shernika Johnson. Sugar Neeks. She's a minus 400.
Not bad bets.
I think she beats Sharetta Metcalf. She's beast. And it's funny because everybody looks past Shernika Johnson because she has the OnlyFans and because she looks the way she looks. And like, don't get me wrong, like beautiful woman. Like if she never wanted to fight again, she could easily have a modeling career or probably just turn to her OnlyFans revenue that she's likely raking in. But fuck if the girl isn't gifted, man. Like, she's really good. So I like her to win that fight, man. Thanks for putting us on the boxing matches here, Lethal Sugar, early in the episode. I almost forgot about these. Look at these guys. Look at you, Lazy Bet. Look at you, my friend. And Lazy Bet, if you could just reiterate rather in the chat. I feel like you got swept over or kind of missed amongst all the robust chat that was going on in the previous show. I know you actually had a very eventful day yourself, right? You attended the PFL town hall, I believe you said. Tell me, how did that go? And were there any interesting developments as far as PFL goes, the future of the promotion, etc.? When you say gifted, do you mean OnlyFans wise? I can't say that I subscribe, but I'd imagine it's a stark raving yes to that as well. I meant her skills inside of the ring, the square circle, her ability to take punishment and keep moving forward. She's actually gotten quite better in her last 3 fights at cutting angles, cutting off the I keep wanting to say cutting off the cage, cutting off the ring for her opponents and just closing distance and landing massive shots, man. I appreciate that, Dixon. He says he'll subscribe. Perfect. I'll be looking out for the DMs on Twitter or Instagram at MMAnomaly. Yeah, definitely your kind of fighter, Dixon.
Good move.
It's definitely a move. It's definitely a move. And speaking of that, my guy, one legend and one mouth breather. Big up. You're absolutely right. I am definitely a mouth breather. It makes sense when you can't breathe out of the honker upstairs, you know? And yeah, Nano's the biggest legend of them all.
Oh, I thought Leroy was talking to himself there as the legend. A little third person action. Great to see you, Leroy. Big ups as well, brother.
Good job, champ.
Love that. Love that. Now, with that being said, usually if we talk boxing before MMA, it's a stark contrast between the odds, right? Like when you were talking boxing, you got crazy odds, like minus 1,000, minus 4,000, minus ridiculousness. But we jump into UFC and we find ourselves on the opposite side of the spectrum here, Nano, because the opening bout between Fatima Kline and Melissa Martinez, it's one of the biggest odds differentials I've seen in a very long time in the UFC, my friend. And I mean, someone who might want to weigh in on that is Capitan Rafuccio. How we doing, Capitan? Hope you're having a great day, my friend. Let us know who you got in this fight. I'm assuming it's probably the minus 1,200 favorite in Fatima Kline here. No, I mean, I don't know that matchmaking did a great job with this one when there's a plus 750 and a minus 1,200, but I'll let you take the lead. How do you see this one playing out? You think Vegas got it right?
Oh, man. I mean, it's certainly hard to go against that big of a favorite, especially when it is a Fatima Kline who has been proven to go out there, take care of business, big girl for the division, and definitely talented in every facet of the game. Now, this is the first fight of the night here on the prelims. Both fighters don't have more than 10 fights respectively, so they're still kind of young in their careers, but we've definitely, at least in my opinion, seen a little bit more of a Fatima Kline, aka the Archangel, going in there against someone that I like, someone that is off the block. And again, I feel upset to see such the odds so heavily against a Miss Melina Martinez, aka Super Meli, because she's got that Mexican fighting spirit, right? She is coming off a tough loss against Elise Tree, but she bounced back in a great way against Elise Ardeline, both of which are respected opponents, and when I look at her opponent here and Fatima Kline, yes, she did get through a Victoria Dudikova, knocked her out with the elbows from the guard. But before that, she had a tough time with our girl, the one, the only, Miss Jasmine Jazadavicius.
Jazadavicius.
Jazadavicius, there it is. You know the vibes. Hell yeah. So honestly, if I'm gonna ever go against Vegas, I may sprinkle a little quarter uni, something that I don't feel bad about losing, because to the point might end up losing it. However, there is a slim chance that silver coin could turn into a couple gold coins here, just by taking the young. Well, she's 2 years older in Melissa, but I like the fighting spirit from Melissa Martinez. She's tough. She's going to be moving forward, and if she gets stay inside and muddy up the fight, who knows? She might be able to do what Jasmine did as well about 11 months ago and find a way to decision via victory via decision. Appreciate y'all though. That's my 2 cents. It's a tough one though, right? I mean, I'm stalling just before I hand it back to you. I think my official pick is obviously going to go with Fatima Kline. However, I'm certainly rooting for Melissa Martinez, Super Melly, to get it done and tell Vegas to kick rocks, because that's a little disrespectful. How do you feel about this, my brother?
Man. Great breakdown as always, Nano. And I completely agree. Before I jump into my breakdown, Capitan said, I see Jive Turkey with that Raiders hat. Let's go. It's not football season yet, but hashtag Raider Nation. Brother. Raiders. Let's go. Guys, quick side note, sending get well wishes to my boy and fan of the show, Does Files, who got his finger bit off by his dog last night at the park. Oh, I saw that post on Twitter. Oh my God, bro. They couldn't find the finger, so they think the dog ate it. Oh, man. Yeah, I saw the pictures posted on X. I thought he found the finger later on. Am I mistaken? But either way, yeah, it looked like it was bit off right at the knuckle joint, the first connecting joint there.
Well, I'm shooketh, and I'm definitely rooting for him. Or her, Daz Files, sorry. But, man.
Yeah,
big
between Daz Files and Ben Askren, man, it's tough. Tough week.
Well, sounds like we got to pour one out then.
I'm going to pour one out for sure. Lethal Sugar actually said earlier in the chat, I meant to pull it up. Y'all see Ben Askren's video he posted recently? Guy has been through hell, hoping it all works out. I'm not going to lie to you, Lethal. We may or may not have already done a shot before the show even started, literally in honor of Ben Askren, the funky one. I love that guy. I was a fan of his before he made it to the UFC, and man, to see him in the shape he's in right now, it's tough to say the very least. And shouts out to him and his family, and prayers for a very, very quick recovery. So, folks, if you are drinking, drink with us. If you're not, do what you do. Whatever it is, do it with us. We appreciate it. Cheers to you. Cheers to Ben Askren. Cheers to everybody else that's going through anything at all, big or small. We hope you get through it with a smile from ear to ear on each face, and we hope you see the light at the end of the tunnel on the other end, folks. Cheers to you guys.
Salute. It's finally a good fight, y'all. May these events, be reminders of how precious life is, and may we, like I said, continue to fight, continue to keep going, keep growing, and Daz Files is going to continue to do that. He's got the whole community behind him. We're going to send some energy, some aura, some chakra out that way, and again, good reminder. Let's keep finding the good fight, y'all. Let go.
And this right here is exactly the perspective to take on this. Chilling with my young lad by the fire out back, listening to the MMA Anomaly and Jive. Life is good. Happy to see Ben is awake and responsive. This is good news. Folks, Leroy gets a lot of flack in a joking way on the Fight Week show, and definitely from S-Dog's MMA Talk. But I got to say, Leroy, he has shaken me to my core in recent weeks, just because of the fact that he's such a goddamn optimist, man. I always make the joke that if I was a Transformer, I'd be Optimus Prime because I'm so optimistic. Like it's probably both infectious and annoying, my optimism. I say this because I've been told this by multiple people. But Leroy, man, sometimes I feel like I'm not optimistic enough when I talk to you, dude. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your perspective you bring, bro. Appreciate that. Now jumping into this fight, I'll be honest, man. Huge underdog in the women's strawweight division is Melissa Martinez, Super Melly. I love the optimism on your end, too. You're also very optimistic when it comes to this fight, it seems. It's crazy because both these women in their last running 5 are 4-1, right? Like, the same exact record. The difference is who have they fought. Fatima Kline, I mean, if you look at it, Victoria Dudakova, I mean, our girl, Jasmine.
Yes, David.
Andressa Romero, Cindy Ung in a grappling competition, Sarakova. And then you look at her opponent and her last running 3 or 4. And again, Melissa Martinez is no slouch. She fought Alice Ardeline, the OnlyFans wonder, right? Make sure you subscribe. Looking at you, Dixon. She won that fight. She lost a unanimous decision to Elise Reed, which Elise Reed is no slouch in her own right. And before then, she had wins over Caroline Gallardo, Francis Hernandez, and Desiree Yanez. I mean, again, we got to look at the women that have wins over them, right? Elise Reed most recently fought Lumaloke lost via rear naked choke. After that, she got Lupita Godinez, Loopy, we're a big fan of, lost via rear naked choke. She got RNC twice, if you're not keeping count. Then she won a bout over an aging Jessica Penne pasta, and she cooked that pasta al dente, and then came out and lost right after that to Denise Gomes. So, I mean, Lupita, Denise Gomes, and Lumaluk Bomi, and her only loss before then, or losses before then in the UFC, were to Sijara Eubanks, a.k.a. Sarge, and Sam Page Hughes. I mean, I can't help but feel like Elise Reed is a tough out, and I don't need to go through our girl Jasmine record because, I mean, she's just a fucking phenom. I mean, come on, folks. We're talking about the one, the only. We're talking about the female second coming of GSP. We're talking about She SP, folks. She SP. All right? Talking about the one, the only, Jasmine. So I think that loss carries a little bit more weight. Right, Nano? And that's why I'm going Fatima Kline. I think she's cleaner. I think she's stronger. And I think that realistically, she's going to be able to utilize, even though it's only a 1-inch reach advantage, she's got 3 inches on height. So her opponent's going to be punching up, which we've talked about ad nauseum on this show if you've paid attention to the last handful of years, right? Anytime somebody is fighting with a reach advantage and a height advantage, it is a cheat code, my guy. It is a cheat code. Because you're having someone punch up. That's fucking exhausting, bro. Like, I know you can't relate because you're like 7'2", you fucking mammoth of a man. Built like the goddamn Jolly Green Giant over there.
Everyone's gonna think I'm like 7 feet tall. I am a modest 6 foot, y'all. But thank you.
Modest 6 foot. For us normal people, it feels like asking him how the weather is up there. So yeah, he can't really relate to having to punch up. But let me tell you, your opponents hate how tall you are. Every time you've ever been in a fight, I can promise you they don't love the height advantage that you likely bring. So again, that being said, I gotta add another caveat that you failed to bring, and I really thought you were gonna bring it because this is your stat. Fatima's the younger girl, bro. I know it's not by much, but she's still the younger girl. 3 years is 3 years, and the fact of the matter is, I think Fatima's better than Melissa already being 3 years younger. So that's a tough out. That's probably why she's a minus 1,200 favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fight fans of all shapes and sizes, will we be betting this fight? No. Are you fucking no, dude? No chance. We're not betting this fight at all. Minus 1,200? No. If I was going to do anything, I'd sprinkle just the tiniest amount on that plus 750 that is Melissa Martinez. But even then, Nano, you'd have to convince me further. So that being said, move into the lightweight division. The big guys here, 155ers. We got Mike Beast Boy Davis coming in against Mitch Ramirez. Now, I mean, Mike Beast Boy Davis is obviously the favorite here. I mean, to the tune of minus 1050. Now, when we first started talking in the beginning of the week about doing this episode, I think was like a minus 10 or a minus 1,000 or a minus 900. That line continues to go up. So people are still smashing the line on him. And I don't think it's unwarranted, if I'm being honest. Like, if you ask the folks at Tapology, they're smart folks. 1,933 of them, Nano, they've placed their bets already. And I mean, 96% of them think Davis is going to get it done. 49.6%. It's almost half of those 96% of folks think he's going to get it done inside the distance, or rather by knockout. So, I mean, realistically, 60 plus percent think he's going to get it done either by submission or knockout. So I got to go with these guys and gals because they're smart. We're smart too. We're going to follow that lead. Mike has looked really good in his recent fights, if I'm being completely honest with you, man. He's looked like he's figured out the learning curve. He's only 32 years of age, same as his opponent, Mitch Ramirez, right? They're both entering fight prime age right now. There is a 1.5-inch reach advantage and about a 3-inch height advantage for Mike Davis. So again, you got a better striker, a better grappler, and his opponent's going to be punching up with a 1.5-inch reach deficit. It's not a recipe for success for Mitch Ramirez in this one, folks. And again, if we look at kind of what they've got for their last running five, We got a 4-1 fighter coming off a loss in Mike Davis versus a 3-2 fighter coming off of a loss in Mitch Ramirez, right? The difference is Mitch Ramirez lost to Thiago Moises in his most recent outing. And he lost in the third round via leg kicks. He couldn't stand. He could not plant on that leg. He just got it taken out from underneath him. His opponent, his only loss or losses in recent years, he has a loss most recently to Faraz Zayam, which, again, big fans of on this show. We've hyped him up ad nauseum. I think he's going to be a future champ, possibly. He has that potential. Before then, his last loss was back in 2019 to Gilbert Burns, which, no. 2019 Gilbert Burns, that's a guy. That's a fucking guy, huh? That's a dog. And he lost in round 2 via rear naked choke. So, pretty notable wins over Slaviklaus and Natan Levy. The man across from Mitch Ramirez, most notable win is Arison Tavares at LFA, which got him into the UFC. He landed a left hook, I believe, in the first round, 2 minutes and 19 seconds in. And then he made it to the UFC. Had a bit of a belly flop against his opponent, Thiago Moises. Now, noteworthy performance before then, though. Now, right before that LFA win via knockout, he competed on the Contender Series against someone you might actually know from the Contender Series. His name's Carlos Prates. Sikahachi and whiskey. And he lost that one, right? In round 2, straight left, just down the pipe from Carlos Prates, timed it, picked the shot, and knocked him out. About a minute and 14 seconds in, and my guy, I think this is going to be a very similar situation. I think Mike Davis goes out there and gets him out of there. Mike's a strong guy, and he's got better striking than he gets credit for because he oftentimes gets put in there against elite-level grapplers. And I think we saw the striking on display against Faraz Zayam. Zayam was just a step ahead. Unfortunately for Mitch, he's no Faraz. He's not got that camp. He's not got those people in his corner. And he's not got those skills in the utility belt. No, give me Mike Davis all fucking day, and I'm taking him inside the distance. What do you think?
And I think I'm going to be right there with you as well. I think I'm going to rock with Beast Boy here. No need to, reheat the same meat here that you perfectly cooked, my brother. So it's ready. It's ready for serving. All I got to say is Beast Boy is going to come out there and put on a good show. Make sure you stay tuned in. This guy, Mitch Ramirez, although we have seen him around the block for amount of time, like you said, 2 losses here in the UFC. After 8 wins, he was able to stack up. And one of those 2 Carlos Prates is probably why he got that second shot. But then even the leg kicks alone were able to take him out from Thiago Moises. And I think any way you slice it, just how good Mike Davis is in terms of the striking and his ability to stay locked into a 15-minute match. It was a close fight. Yeah, with Faraz. Having a tough time. Faraz. My goodness. Say that 5 times. Faraz. My apologies. I ferociously am sorry about that. Over here making words like a Maya Papaya on Love Island. If you know, you know.
You got it, brother. I actually just started watching the newest season of Love Island. I've never watched Love Island in my life, but Mary's cousin was almost on there with her twin sister. So she got us to start the new season while she was over here in town last weekend. It's a fun one. It's an entertaining show at the very least. Man,
it's a lot. Yeah, maybe something good to just wind down to. Or
I'm 2 episodes in, and I'm a Huda fan, but I apparently won't be as I continue watching.
Well, it's fair. I think we're all about good. We're all about good entertainment at the end of the day. Huda is definitely polarizing, so I guess we see where you're at with it. And yeah, things can change, but no, I don't see you. You're a loyal person, so I think you'll appreciate all the ups and flows that is Huda on Love Island here. And yeah, man, it's a fun one. Definitely check it out.
I'm starting to think I have a type. I mean, I know she's Middle Eastern, so I mean,
just every bit of that spiciness that they have out there as well, man. I'm telling you. But it's a fun one for sure. Little bit of entertainment value, and that's what it's all about here. We're here to entertain. Am I coming out to Australia this year, Leroy? You ask in the comments, and the question is, I goddamn hope so. I want to. In fact, let's
me
put
and
it on
Mary
the
are talking
list.
about planning a trip up there, so I'll loop you in, brother.
Yeah, we'll start looking at flights, and whenever it makes dollars, it'll make sense. But best believe that's on the list, man. We're gonna make it happen. Let's go. Only promise is I have to bunk with you specifically. Wives can figure out their own arrangements. In fact, I could book them their own place, but I must.
Depending on when we go, Leroy's wife might be out of town. It might be just a boys' night kind of deal.
I reckon
we're going to send Mary to go hang out with her family, and there we go.
I reckon that's the vibe. Say less. Check out Volt's farm while we're at it.
I'll say less, but you have to say more on who you have in this Mitch Ramirez versus Mike Davis fight, my guy.
I'll say a little bit more. Man. I'm going with Mike Davis here. I think within the decision, I think Mike Davis can find a finish here. It's going to be entertainment. Potentially 50K here for a good Beast Boy outing over Mitch Ramirez, and I say that respectfully because I like both these fighters, but Mike Beast Boy's going to have a day, and that's what I have to say about that. Let's go.
Mike Beast Boy Davis. And if you haven't already checked it out, make sure you go check out the interview with Mike Beast Boy Davis on S-Dog's MMA Talks channel. He had the pleasure of sitting down with him and chopping it up, and great interview as always. Speaking of great things as always, we find ourselves moving into the heavyweight division for the next bout, Nano, between Kennedy and Nzechukwu, coming in against Valter Walker, the brother of Johnny Volker. This is going to be a great fight, Nano. I feel like it's going to be a huge test for Valter, and man, oh man, am I here for it. Nano, who do you have?
This is an absolute banger of a fight, my brother. As much as I do want to ride with, Johnny Black Label Walker's brother here and Valter Red Label Walker, I can't go with the submission guy in this one. It's a tale as old as time. The submission guy goes up against the true striker in Kennedy Njokuani, and Kennedy Nzechukwu. I can't talk today, my brother, but I'm trying. I'm gonna work through it. We're gonna keep him rolling. That's why we live.
Nzechukwu.
Nzechukwu.
You just call him
He's
Kennedy.
gonna go out there. We'll call you Kennedy's good. Big K.
Big K.
Kennedy it is.
Special K.
Special K it is. No, I like Kennedy in this one, man. He's got absolutely great striking. I'm speechless because of how good it is. And, he's kind of a tweener, right? He's gone back and forth. He's now settled in to his heavyweight division here. So that's no longer the narrative. He is the favorite coming in. He's got a back-to-back wins. And again, I think just when you have that kind of power, and if you could at least pose enough defense, I think Valter Walker is going to be in some trouble. I don't know how he's going to find his path to victory, which would be a submission. Definitely game for one, but it's a tough storm to weather with a Kennedy in front of you, just slanging and banging. So give me the big boy, the lightweight moving on up and representing here in his newly found home in heavyweight division. The lighter but smarter, and I think the more lethal striker, and Kennedy Nzechukwu. That's the last time I'm trying it. What you got for us, my brother? Please save me.
Oh, man. Leroy said my guy Kennedy got the ups here. Looking great since going up. Walker has already proven himself worthy to be here, but the Nigerian native going to be too sharp with the hands. Lazy Bet said clean monster coming to hook Kennedy's heels. Man likes to grab feet more than Tarantino.
That's well said, Lazy Bed. That we got to frame that one.
Oh man, I couldn't get to the laugh track fast enough for that. That's good. Man loves feet more than Tarantino. That's something special. I'll be honest. I'm riding Lazy Bet's train here, man. I like the submission guy in this one. We've seen Kennedy leave himself open to submissions before. He's been submitted before. And I mean, Jung Dawon, Nicolau Negamediano, Dustin Jacoby, OSP just last year. Like, that's an old OSP. Those are the guys that have wins over Kennedy. Paul Krieg got a triangle choke on him in round 3 at a weight class down. You're talking about a bigger, stronger, longer guy here. And I mean, he's not longer than Kennedy. Let's make no mistake about it. Kennedy's got a hell of an ape index. The dude is 6'4" and has an 83-inch reach, coming in against a man that has an inch of height on him, but is down multiple inches at 78.5 inches of reach. I still got to take Valter. I truly think that the submission threat is going to be too much for Kennedy. I think he throws everything into his shots, and he's going to leave himself open to get taken down by doing so. And when he gets taken down, that's where the fun begins, as Anakin Skywalker says. Where are you on the leaderboard? Yeah, exactly. Your picks mean nothing, Leroy said. You know, that was hurtful. Where did you finish in the fantasy league exactly, Leroy? Was it the basement? Still need that address so I can send you the I Suck at Fantasy UFC shirt. With their typical lack or mobility and dexterity, heavyweights are terrified of leg locks. They panic. Lazy bed. Man, lazy bed, but not lazy thoughts, my friend. You are right on the money with that, and that's exactly why I will be taking the dog in this one in Valter Walker. Plus 170 seems like a value pick. I'm going to throw a unit on this guy. I mean, you put one unit, you're going to get 2.7 back. It just seems like a money pick. And I know this is one of the ones that I literally told you I felt like we were going to go against the grain on here, Nano. I thought. We're going to disagree. The next one, I feel like we're going to go back to agreeing, though, my friend, so that's okay. We're jumping back into the women's flyweight division for a bout between Lucky Lauren Murphy coming in against Eduarda Moura. Nano. I feel like Vegas could not have gotten this one more right. Eduarda Moura is riding a bit of a hype train right now. She's riding the momentum, she's riding the wins, and she's looking good doing it. Right. Granted, she had a loss just 2 fights ago. She's still 4-1 in her last 5, whereas Lucky Lauren Murphy is looking pretty unlucky at a 3-2 in her last running 5. Now, looking at who Ronda Eduardo Moura has fought, again, she's 11-1. Her most recent win is her best win. I thought she was going to lose that fight over Veronica Hardy. You and me both bet on Veronica in that fight. But I digress. She had what it took to get it done. And that's exactly why I think she's going to come out here and get the win over Lauren Murphy. Everything that she did in that fight over Veronica Hardy is exactly what she needs to do in this fight. If she's able to come out here and replicate that game plan, as we like to say here, rinse, wash, and repeat, so to speak, just like the bottle says, she's likely to come off of this one with a dub, Nano. I'm not going to take her inside the distance or anything crazy like that. I just think straight up she gets it done. Am I going to bet on it at minus 600? No, dude, you get me hard pressed to do that. But I do think she gets a win. I think Lauren Murphy is on the tail end, whereas Eduarda is on the up and up, and she's meeting Lucky Lauren Murphy at just the right time. Call her Lucky Eduarda Moura.
Well said, my brother. And yeah, I think that's really it here. I mentioned at the top of the episode here, it's a tale of the tape. It's a turning of the guard a little bit. And I think that's what we're seeing here with the Lauren Murphy, who is going to go out on her shield. Absolutely know about it. She's quickly approaching 42 years old here within the next month, actually within the next couple weeks, and has not fought since her Jessica Andrade loss, and that was about 2.5 years ago. I just hard pressed to really see a scenario in which that really helps her. I guess you can make the case that, hey, she's a little bit older, a little bit more tread on the tires. The time off can be good, but at a minimum, we're going to say a little bit of a ring rust, a little bit of a body shock when it comes to just being in the octagon, preparing, going through the weight cut, everything like that. And then you get paired up with somebody who, like we talked about here in Eduarda Moura, absolute beast coming out of Brazil, coming off a really big win against a Veronica Hardy, who we know is always game, like you mentioned. And I think she's just trending in the right direction. She's tough. She can box. She can strike in all different facets. And then when it gets to the ground, she has the jiu-jitsu, and she's got really good grappling, and just is a strong, strong girl here with, 11 years of youth and certainly a decade of just, potentially fights here to look forward to. So again, that's to give Lauren Murphy some flowers and compliment the longevity in her career. You got to respect it. But unfortunately, Father Time is undefeated. So we're rocking with Eduarda here to get it done. Not going to go against Vegas. Expecting a good fight and expecting Lauren to go out on her shield, guns ablazing. But Eduarda's going to edge it out, in my belief here. Sounds like we're on the same page. Back on track.
Back on track, indeed. Just so we can get off track in the next one, my guy. We have a welterweight bout in this very next bout between Jake Matthews, a.k.a., as we like to call him in this household since his season on Tough, Buffton Bieber, coming in against Chidi and Njokuani. My fucking goodness, is this fight just going to be an absolute banger? Nano, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one because I feel like we're gonna be on opposite sides of the spectrum here.
Oh man, well this one I am torn on, my brother. His two dogs, two people that I absolutely love watching fight, and I'd be remiss not to mention Leroy's comment here. Hard to listen to Jive Turkey as soon as he starts talking. I get lost in his eyes. Well, you know what, Leroy? If you were on screen, I'd be doing the same. Okay, we'd all be stargazing. Okay, but I do appreciate the kind words and everything else that you come to offer. Yes, round of applause for Leroy, y'all. Go check him out. And if you need a boost, a little pat on the back, that's what he's here for as well, man. Gotta love it. And Leroy, frankly, I think Jake Matthews is going to need that little pat on the back. I know we're talking about our blokes. I hate to do this to our guy here living in the land down under. But, man, Chidi Bang Bang is just a force to be reckoned with. And I think it really just boils down to the style here in which Chidi, with that athleticism, both of these guys are durable. Both of these guys have been around the block for a while. I typically would give that nod to Jake Matthews with how young he's started his career and how he's really maturated to this point. And one of just, I would say, a class act is someone that I always root for, somebody that is certainly can and probably will make me eat my words here because I usually like the young buck, and he does have 6 years of youth, which typically speaking, he's more likely to get the job done. But 7-inch reach advantage, a tough opponent in Chidi, who's coming off 3 straight wins. That Muay Thai background, I guess, is all going to boil down to the wrestling. Curious to hear how you see this one here. But the way I see it, Jake Matthews, man, he's been around the block. He's fought all the who's. Even fought the guy we met, a good old Phil Rowe for show. Was able to get through that tough challenge. And I guess you could even make a case stylistically. Both of these fighters have similar body types, may pose similar threats. And Leroy, I hope y'all are right. I'm assuming you're going to be on the Jake Matthews train as I chitty bang bang my way out of here and listen to your breakdown and you and the boys telling me how wrong I am. And I will be doing a shot here next week. So my official pick is Chidi Bang Bang, just by decision and by Muay Thai striking. But my bruv, tell me how I'm wrong.
Lazy Bed said, Olin, not sure if you're a DC guy at all, but Krispy Kreme has a Hungry for Heroes promo going on. Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman donuts.
Oh, wee.
At first, I thought you were talking about Daniel Cormier. Yeah, I'm a bit of a DC guy also. I love my DC and Marvel. That was my first tattoo at 17 years of age. I gotta say, it's held up through the test of time. Not too terrible.
It has. Not too shabby.
It's 17 years ago. 17 years old was a long time ago, bro. Almost 17 years ago. Right around there. So, look, man, Jake is a plus 130 here. I've watched this dude be an underdog for most of his career, and I don't think this is going to be much different. He's an underdog for the wrong reasons. He is the younger guy, as you stated, by 6 years. He's also the shorter guy, right? By 5 inches. He's also got a 7-inch reach deficit here. But Jake is really good at pocket fighting, really good at working his way into the pocket. And man, I think Jake gets this done. I think he gets it done inside the distance too. Chidi is really good, but he uses his power. He keeps his hands down here instead of up here. And that for Jake is just going to be a path for him to start landing that crispy boxing combo and just opening up at range. I like him at plus 130. I'm going to put 1 unit on him. You put 1 unit on Jake at plus 130, you get 2.3 units back. And then, of course, because I am the parlay guy, I got to throw a little parlay, a little 2-legger on Valter Walker, Jake Matthews here. I love it. Plus 521, 1 unit into 6.21. It just makes sense. It just makes sense, my friend. So I got to do it. Yeah. And then worst case scenario, if only one of them wins, they cover the rest of the spread with the 1 unit bet on each of them. Leroy said, LMAO, I was writing a reply about how much Olin loves Cormier. Facts, bro. Facts. Chidi going to clinch and knee the shit out of him. Grimy. Well, at least you're agreeing with one of the hosts.
I see you, Grimy. I see you.
Lazy Bet said they have a 12-pack with custom DC box. Cheat day is calling. Oh, my God. When that's a situation, every day's cheat day, brother.
Wow. Might have to mosey on over there. That is a great call out. Appreciate it, Lazy Bed and Leroy.
We're going to be cooking at home tonight, and the only reason is so that way I can eat dessert out. And dessert is probably going to be that DC 12 count box, baby. Let's go. Lethal shook his head also on Chidi here. You know what? I'm not surprised. You and my boy are both from Arizona. So I feel like you guys are hive-minded right now, Lethal. I feel like you guys are hive-minded. And with that being said, we move on into the main event of the prelims. It is Max Payne Griffin in the welterweight division, welcoming Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis versus Max Griffin. I'll be honest, man. This is like the tale of two 500 fighters meeting. The only difference is Chris has 10 more wins, 11 more wins to his name. And, man, it's a hell of a fight. It's a hell of a fight. I think this is going to be a lot closer than the odds makers might see it. They have it at plus 250 for Max Payne Griffin and minus 310 for Chris Curtis, the action man. I do think Chris Curtis wins. I think he has better boxing, and I think the path to victory for Max is going to be grappling. And the older you get, harder it is to grapple because it's just tiring as all get out, man. He's 39 years of age, but that's a godsend for him and coming in here against Chris, the action man Curtis, who's only 37 himself. So not a huge age gap. One of the more favorable matchups for Max Griffin here, and there are paths to victory. I just think they're few and far between, right? I got to go Chris Curtis here. I just think durability, boxing, and distance management are going to be the tail of the tape when it comes to this fight. Yeah, I mean, Grimey's saying just parlay the over here. I mean, not a bad play. You hit the over at minus 280 on this. If we add that to that two-leg parlay, it brings it up to plus 742. I'm not mad at it. Lest we forget, this is Chris's first cut to 170 since his PFL days. That's a very great point, LazyBed. I actually think it's going to benefit him. If he makes the weight, I think it benefits him significantly. I don't think he was doing himself any favors fighting at middleweight. He's an undersized middleweight or a huge welterweight. So I'd rather be a huge welterweight. That's why I'm taking him here, man. As long as his chin holds up at the weight cut, we'll be in good shape for this one, boys. Nano, how do you see this one playing out, brother?
Yeah, my brother. Couldn't agree more with everything y'all are saying. A lot of different nuances we could say here, right? This definitely all adds to the allure of the fight, and I guess kind of more of the questions I have in the Chris Curtis. How's he going to look? I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Homeboy is jacked. He's shredded to the gills. That is a big weight cut. Assuming he makes weight, assuming he looks good and is able to bounce back, I think he will be just fine. Because if he's going to carry that well. He's in a balloon. He's going to blow like a balloon back up to like 2 something by the time he gets back in there, which is not good for Max the Payne Griffin here, who I love, man. This is a perfect fight. I think when it comes to just the overall kind of appeal, where they are in their careers, the styles in which both of these guys have, the durability, like you mentioned, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think this will be an absolute banger. You never know. No guarantees in life. But like Leroy said, this is a fight. I'm excited. It's two guys that are kind of on the back nine of their career. So it's not like I'm sitting here with huge implications or, like, if I'm being honest, even with the weight class, I could give a bullocks. I mean, Chris Curtis can stop cutting weight. They can fight at 180, 190. Just want to see these two guys get after it at their best. And if this is the weight class, then so be it. I think Chris Curtis definitely has a little bit of an advantage there. I mean, you know who he's training with, and Sean Strickland and those boys out there. Good team. Overall, great team, I would say. And Max Griffin, I think just a little bit more tread on the tires. And even just that recent loss to Michael Chiesa just hasn't really aged well in my head. So leaning with Chris Curtis as well here, man. I think he's going to go out there, put some violence on a Max Griffin. But Max is no slouch. I do see it being a good back and forth. Max representing Sacramento. Shout out Sac, as I'm out here in Arizona currently. Always missing home. But, yeah, man, this is going to be Chris Curtis's fight to lose in this one. And would you look at that? Good old-fashioned S-Dogs. What up?
Let's fucking go, S-Dogs. Love seeing you in the chat, my guy. You're just in time for the main card, my boy. Man, I got to post this comment from Lazy Bed. Last made 170 in 2019, went 1-3 at welterweight in PFL. Just something to consider. Definitely something to consider. Grimy said, lazy, fuck Ohio State. LOL, let's fucking go, bro. My guy. Leroy said, I think Max wins, but I always celebrate a Curtis dub. You know what? I'm not mad at it. I'm definitely not mad at it. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I followed what was preached to me in the chat here. I'm doing the Valter Walker, Jake Matthews parlay. I added the over 2.5 rounds in this one at minus 280. That brings us up to plus 742. Putting a half unit on that one. And what that wins is, let's see here, 4.21 units, right? And if that's not good enough, we're just going to go ahead and do another one where we do Valter Walker, Jake Matthews, and at Leroy's guidance, Max Griffin at plus 250. So that brings the odds stack up to plus 2,073. We're going to do a fifth of a unit on that, folks. If you put 1 unit on that, you get 21 units back, right? So if you do a fifth of a unit, you get 4.34 back. Again, either one of these hits, it covers the spread. God help us if it goes over 2.5 and Max wins. It's a nice little payout. So we're going to hit those. We're going to hit those hard, and hopefully those payments are going to hit our pockets, folks. Kennedy screwed me at minus 900 against OSP. I can't trust him again. Grimy, I'm with you. That's exactly why I'm betting against him. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. Jake's going to beat him up. I just can't do it, man. Or not Jake. Fucking Valter Walker. He's going to beat him up, man. But yeah, the same exact thing happened with the OSP fight. I thought OSP was going to be washed, and just can't do it, man. Just can't do it. Leroy said 2019 too long ago to consider if he makes weight. Facts, bro. Facts. Nano, beautiful as ever. No pause. Yeah. Facts.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like a fine wine or a whiskey, brother. He just gets better with age. Bet the fucking house on Black Beast, he said. Oh my goodness. Well, let's get into the main card so we can work our way up there, huh? We have a light heavyweight bout starting off this main card, folks, between Junior Tafa and Tuco Tokkos. Junior Tafa is cutting down to light heavyweight. And can we just talk? I'm going to pour up another shot, Nano, because this is possibly the glow up of the century. Like,
he's looking stacked. He's looking like a snack.
This man cutting to light heavyweight from heavyweight is like the difference from you when I met you versus you like the week of your wedding. I mean,
yeah, he went from
cut season is real, brother.
He went from the big onk to fucking big oos real quick, brother.
I mean, he went from Junior Tafa to the big Tafa, brother. From cutting weight, it's wild. He needs to start going by bad man, I think. Because I think he's going to do bad things out there. He's only 28 years of age, and he's not been fighting at the right weight class. He's been a chubby heavyweight. Now he's going to be a fucking big boy light heavyweight. Now, Nano, I'm going to keep it short and sweet with this one. Cheers to you. Cheers to the folks. Cheers to a fucking great episode and a great fight card. We are back, baby. We are back, and so are you all. If you're drinking, raise one up with us. If not, S-Docs, we see you with the joint. Let's fucking go, kid. Either way, cheers to you all.
Salute. We see you, Grammy, as well with the Crown Royal. Salute. Cheers. Oh, yeah.
Love Crown Royal, bro. Canadian whiskey's fire. Canadian whiskey is fire. I'd imagine that's one of Wolverine's favorite drinks, considering he's Canadian. Now, Nano. Jumping into this light heavyweight bout. Junior Tafa versus Tuco Tokkos. I mean, how do you see this one going, man? 10-5 versus 6-3, 28 years of age versus 35 years of age. Just a 1-inch difference between height and a 1-inch difference between reach. It's gonna be fun, bro. I feel like it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a fun one. I think it is going to be the coming out party for a Junior Tafa, somebody who, again, one of the Tafa bros, have a lot of namesake, have a lot of support behind him. You see Leroy putting in the flags there, got the whole continent there to support these guys, and that's what I expect to see. And honestly, we already talked about it. That was going to be my big point, was him making the weight cut and going from what felt like just kind of your natural, using your raw skills in this, at least in the form of what weight division he's fighting in. Let's call a spade a spade. Like, he was definitely a little bit more on the not so shredded side, which in the UFC every pound counts, and I think eventually he can probably go back up to the heavyweight division, but this certainly is the best move for his career at 28 years old. Like, no better time than now to get it done, get down there. And I'm excited to see how it looks. Frankly, I think Tafa has all the skills. He's going to have that power that translates. I do like Tuco, very much. I like a Tuco, but this just feels like a bad matchup for him. It's a heavy-handed guy who's going to have equal kind of reach advantage with you. You're not going to be able to be the big kid on the block here, which is kind of what's been Tuco's saving grace thus far. I'm liking what I'm seeing, though, from a Tafa. I know he's not the most technically sound, but man, can he swing and bang. And I think he's going to do what a wise band once said, and let the bodies hit the flow. And go ahead and find a knockout. I'm going for a Junior Tafa knockout here. That's my pick, and I'm sticking to it. How you feeling, brother?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm right there with you. Except I'm not, right? Like, I'm going with Junior Tafa. Did you just say you're going with Tuco?
No, going with Tafa.
Oh, okay.
Tafa
I misunderstood you there at the end. I was
Sorry.
like, I thought you were saying Tafa the entire time, but I was like, did you just say I'm going Tuco?
Well, and you know what? I did say TKO really quick, which Tuco Tokkos sounds like TKO almost,
that was a confusion.
TKO,
I was like,
KO. Not to be confused with the opponent there.
Hey, I wanna follow you, but I just don't know that I can. No, I think Junior gets it done, man. If he gets it done, I'm gonna wear my Vegeta Badman fucking satin button-up shirt that I have. I should have worn that in Vegas. I feel like it was a missed opportunity. Next year.
That's fair. Next year.
Like khaki pants and that. I'm gonna be wearing the Vegeta outfit next time we go to the club in Vegas. It's happening. And speaking of someone that's probably gonna go to the club on Saturday, it's Junior Tafa. I think he's gonna go out here and do exactly what my boy, the man, the myth, the legend, number one on your screens and number one in your hearts, S-Dogs MMA Talk said in the chat here. First round KO, folks. I think it's going to be a first round KO. I think this is going to be nasty. And I think this is going to be another part of the equation as to what Grimy said here. This card could be sneaky good because of sneaky good fights like this. This is great matchmaking. One man, of course, has double the fight experience in Tuco Tokkos and definitely double the fight experience in this weight class. But you're fighting a guy that's used to getting hit by 265-pound fucking mammoths, a dude that is willing to step in on short notice and fight his big brother's opponents. And I just think. Nope. I just know that Junior Tafa is going to come out here and, he's going to do his very best Gambit impression, folks.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
The man's about to come out here and do work. Okay, folks? He is going to do work. S-Dog said it best right here. Grimy, this card is a banger. No need to be sneaky about it. Fook the casuals. You know what I'm saying? It don't got the name value, but I think we're going to see some bangers. Grimy, I said this earlier in the chat when I was on the Dust Up Shakedown show. This is a great card for talent building sake. This is going to be a card where if you don't know the name, like Dana White says, if you don't know, now you know. This is that card. This is a fight card designed around if you don't know, now you know. Like the Junior Tafas of the world, the Vitor Petrinos of the world, the fucking Morgan Charriere and Nate Landwehrs of the world. Like, that fight's going to be a banger, and it's in 2 discussions from now. Folks, this whole fight card, banger after banger after banger. It's a fact, okay? Getting the UFC as a pretend heavyweight isn't showing. Or getting to the UFC as a pretend heavyweight isn't showing, but looking shredded at 205 is a flex. Brother. Beep. Let's fucking go. Oh, man. I'm hoping to have a flex like that, too. I'm trying to get down from light heavyweight to fucking middleweight this year. Would you believe I used to be a lightweight? What the fuck?
Not with those tree trunks you got as legs, brother.
Back when we started at Yelp, I think I was just coming off the lightweight grind, brother. I was somewhere between, if there was a 165-pound division, I'd be right there. But, man, that was 40 pounds ago. So here we are.
That is crazy to think about. I mean, obviously, we all know that a lot of the heavy lifting is the kind of water cut and all that. You think you could get down to 165 or 160, or what do you think you're 170 these days? he's drunk off.
I mean, do I think I could get down to 160 or 170 these days? I mean, yeah, with like a nutritionist and a fight camp, probably.
Enough time.
I don't even think I need a lot of time. I think I could probably do it in like 4 months.
Yeah,
I say it out loud, but I don't think a lot of people comprehend what I mean when I say like I am a redneck. Like most of the things that like you've hung out with me, you've interacted with me in person. Most of the things I eat are not healthy. Like
fair.
And the drinking doesn't help with weight loss. Like if I cut out alcohol and cut out fried foods, I'd probably drop 20 pounds instantaneously, bro. Like fucking call me Goku because I'm hitting that instant transmission, brother. Oh man, Grimy. He's drunk off one shot. No. It's like 3 or 4 at this point. But you know, we're out here. We're also definitely not drunk. You would know. You would definitely know, my friend. If you're saying that because my color has changed, again, I'm a redneck, so it's par for the course, man. I take one shot and that happens. I will dissect this on replay. Fingers crossed Nano didn't ruin my love for him. Oh no. What happened, bro? What happened here? I don't know. Did we miss something here?
I would never. As
much as I enjoy 2 cold tacos at night, this is a setup to feed Tafa lean cuisine. That's good, dude. Oh, that's good. I still don't know how they Junior Tafa out his real name, Pascal Samoini Milo. His actual name is Pascal Samoini Milo? It's a fire ass name.
Salmani. Yeah, Pascal. Pascal is a sick name. Milo. I'm with it. Yeah, I guess that's I'm curious how that gets out.
I mean, Pascal Salmani, the Kilo Milo, brother. Like, come on, easy nicknames that one too.
The Milo.
Hey, Massimilo. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I'm the worst. 155 MMA anomaly coming soon. 165 at best. S-Dogs.
There we go. Catch weight.
Me and S-Dogs are the same exact weight, but he's like 6'8", I think. He's like 6'8". Let's go. Rednecks and Aussies are like Rocky and Apollo meme. I mean, that's actually a fact, bro. That's actually a fact. We were made for each other, as S-Dog said. But I mean, like, can we? Are we the Rockies in that? There's a trade-off, right? Like, won't go into it, but there's definitely a trade-off there. Now, that being said, we move back into Junior Tafa's old weight class, Nano, for a bout at heavyweight between Vitor Petrino and what Google has listed as Dijuan Lane. Very interesting, because we know him as Austen Lane. I'm not sure why they have him as Dijuan. Is that his original name? But either way, like Austen.
Okay.
From Dijuan to Austen. I mean, it's a success story, folks. Now, Vitor Petrino usually competes at 205, so this is a very interesting bout for him, Nano. And I'm curious to hear, actually, I'm going to go to you first. I know I just did last time, but I'm going to do it again, folks, just because I'm curious. Nano, when it comes to Vitor Petrino coming up from 205, do you think the power carries, or do you think he's going to be in over his head against an actual like 245, 250 pound fighter in Austen Lane?
I am not concerned. I think it is case per case when it comes to that question. Speaking more broadly, hard to say, right? You know, everyone's a little different. How do they look? How do they actually? Well, I should say, where do they walk around at? How do they look at light heavyweight? And I think for someone like a Vitor Petrino, who is another guy that's just absolutely shredded to the gills, looks like he was probably cutting a lot of weight to get to 205, and that might be indicative. That might just kind of be a testament to why he lost twice in a row to tough guys. But I think him and his team probably saw the wake up being too much. And sometimes, especially as you get older, you're looking at a 27-year-old turning 28. You probably look at the next 7 to 8 years and where do you want to maximize your abilities. And for someone like him who is well-rounded, who has power, who may not be the tallest, but he is 6'2", walking around with a 77.5-inch reach. I would say pretty solid measurables. Certainly not a slouch. Like, at a certain point, you just are big as shit. And that's kind of what all these guys are at a certain point. They're just big as shit. And big as shit's going to hurt big as shit, even if it's a little bit bigger of shit. So that's what I think we're getting here with an Austen Lane. And it's kind of the best case scenario for a Vitor, right? It's not a Tallison Teixeira. Let's just throw him in the mix, right? Like, it's not necessarily one of the cream of the crop. Even a Derrick Lewis, I might feel a little different about. I think this is a great kind of introduction to the heavyweight division. You got a game opponent in a Austen, or I guess, it might be Douglas or the Juan, whatever it is, man. He's not looking good for him. He's 37 years old. He's going to be 10 years older than his opponent, coming off a loss about 4 months ago. And I just don't know in terms of the skills where he's going to outclass Vitor Petrino on sheer power. Like, if we're talking like hitting the punching bag, sure, maybe Austen Lane can throw a little bit harder just because he is a ex-NFL athlete. Dude's huge. But when it comes to mixing it all together, I think we're going to see Vitor Petrino in his best version. Again, whether it's 220, heck, maybe he told me it was 235. Maybe he's bulking up now. Like, anything in that range, I'd feel pretty good about. If he's coming in at like 210, 215, I might be a little concerned because that definitely is. Now we're talking 20, 30, maybe 40-pound difference. That, anyway you slice it, is kind of significant. So I think I'm going to wait to the scales, but I'm leaning the younger, more fresh opponent who I'm assuming is now just in his right weight class in a Vitor Petrino to go out there and get the job done. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a knockout. These big boys, again, they slang and bang. Not a lot of fight time for a lot of these big guys unless it's just kind of more of a snooze fest. So let's hope it's not that, y'all. Let me know if I'm talking crazy out here. I see a lot of chatter in the chats, in the comments. Go ahead and hop in. The water's warm, y'all. But MMAnomaly, are we on the same page? Do you think that power is going to translate? That seems to be the narrative of this fight card. Talk to the people. I do
actually think that the power is going to translate. And Vitor's a tough guy just in general. And he's coming in against, I don't want to say an easy opposition, but the right opposition at heavyweight. Leroy said, Petrino knocking out the menace says everything. There you go. Lane, no chin, nothing after round one, said Grimy. Lazy Bed said, poor Austen Dejuan Lane has the chin constitution of a potato chip. I mean, you drop it hard enough and it's going to crack. You're not wrong, my friend. Lane gets KO'd by a slight breeze against his chin, says Grimy. Ouch. I mean, tough to argue. Too many concussions. Commission should let him wear his football helmet. Fucking Lazy Bed, bro. Come on, bro. That's tough.
Nice.
Rob Rex said, this card is a nightmare when it comes to parlays. Going to stick to straight props with a lot of the underdogs this weekend. I've got Jake Matthews plus 1,000 decision, looking at other underdogs. Not a bad play, Rob. Not a bad play. What up, Rob? Love seeing you in the chat, my guy. This fight to not go the distance may be the surest bet on the card. Well, let's look at those odds.
I do like it, Lazy Bet. I like what you're saying. And Rob Rex, you're absolutely right. When in doubt, just go ahead and ride out the single straight props, like you're saying. There are some juicy underdogs, whether it's, a unit, which could be $1 for most people, it could be $10. It doesn't hurt because if one of those hits, you're going to make up for it overall. So, and if there is one sport, there is one type of scenario to go ahead and bet some crazy odds, it is this crazy game we call UFC or MMA. So great having you, Rob. Appreciate the picks there. Let us know how you feel about the rest of the card. Lazy Bed, you might be able to add about it. MMAnomaly, what are you seeing?
I mean, what I'm looking at is the under 2.5, or rather the under 1.5 is the only way you can get decent odd stack on this at minus 175.
Fair.
Lazy Bed's not wrong, though. And Rob Rex, backtracking a little bit, this card is a nightmare for parlays. We've baked in a couple parlays already throughout the show. I don't know if you just tuned in or not, but we've got a handful of them already going. So I like, and not just for this card, this is kind of a bit of a gimme, right? Like, as far as straight bets so far, I've got Amanda Serrano, I've got 2 units. Sharnika Neeks Johnson, Sugar Neeks, I've got 2 units on. Valter Walker, I got a unit on. Jake Matthews, I have a unit on straight. Straight bet at plus 130 is just hard to pass up. And then I got a 2-leg parlay on Jake Matthews and Valter Walker. I got 1 unit to basically win 6, a little over 6 units. And then I have a 3-leg parlay Valter Walker, Jake Matthews, the over 2.5 rounds for Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis, plus 742 odds. I put a half unit on that one. And then last but certainly not least, we have a little bizarro world version of that. We got Valter Walker, Jake Matthews, and Max Payne Griffin. 3 dogs barking in the backyard. Hopefully making some money. You know what I'm saying? Plus 2,073. We're putting a fifth of a unit on that one. So, I mean, let's go. Let's go, folks. A fifth of a unit to win just over 4 units back in totality. Not a bad play. Speaking of nothing bad, we got everything good when Sav Jelly's in the chat. How you doing, Sav? Hope you're having a great time out there dealing with that Texas weather. Sending all the thoughts and prayers to you. I know rain in July in Texas is definitely not a recipe for success.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers, T's and P's. But we do see you rocking the cowboy hat there with a smile on your face. So, yeehaw, right back at you.
Yeehaw! Let's go, baby. So with that, we find ourselves moving into what might be one of my favorite fights of the night here in the featherweight division. No, it is a featherweight bout between Nate the Train Landwehr. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Nate the Train. Mr. If I don't lose, I'm probably going to win. Dogs bark in the backyard. Fuck me up and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like Mr. Quote Machine himself, Nate the Train in the UFC. Check out this bicep, Austen. Coming in here against Morgan, the last pirate, Charriere. This fight is nasty. I think a lot of people that are looking at this fight think, okay, 37 years of age versus 29 years of age. Morgan Charriere's looked really good in recent years, and Nate the Train has just had a tough run of things here recently, but Nate the Train has fought the way tougher opposition, if we're calling a spade here, and he's also the tougher opposition himself. Plus 220, I mean, you might as well I'm not even going to say what the offer that I think this is on the table is, bro, because it just seems nasty and dirty and fantastically easy to win money on. I'm putting 2 units on Nate. I like Nate in this fight. I think, like, if you know anything about Nate, he started off in the amateurs and in his pros fighting against Russians in Russia and beating them. Like, fuck me up and find out, bro. If I don't win, I'm probably going to lose. I think Morgan Charriere is going to find out when he starts landing those hands that he's not going to be able to put out Nate Landwehr. And if he's not able to put him out and he's not able to put him on his back and keep him there, which I think he'll have a hell of a time trying to do, Nano, it's going to be a tough night for the kid. His only path to victory here, truly, is the grappling. And I don't think his grappling is going to be on par with the Russians that Nate Landwehr has already been in there with. So give me Nate the Train Landwehr in this. Again, you're giving him to me at plus 220 odds. I mean, I'm hoping you talk me off the ledge here, but I'm putting 2 units on him, I think, either way. What you got now?
I like it, my brother. I like it. I mean, listen, man, I'm never going to talk you out of a Nate the Train Landwehr bet. It's tough, right? And I think I'm saying that as a fan. I mean, let's call a spade. I'm riding Nate till the wheels fall off. Now, for all you other listeners who might be listening to us and thinking, hey, man, I'm not as big of a Nate the Train. I'm not on this train, okay? I cannot talk to the said benefits of this train or the luxuriousness of this train. Heck, they might be Ozzy Osbourne fans. They might think it's a crazy train. And it is, man. 'Cause that's what we get, baby. It's a crazy ride. And I am here to the final effing stop, man. Till the wheels fall off. Till we have the tracks. But unfortunately, a little chocolat. I think this little Frenchman is going to come in there and unfortunately put a stop to the train. He is now the conductor of the train. And he's got a little Pepe Le Pew, little hair, come here, little boy, little Nate the Train, come here, and let me read a lullaby. That's the best I can do. I apologize. I mean that with all due respect. I am taking the Oh man. Well, listen, y'all. I mean, this is a tough one, my brother. I'll ride with you. I mean, shit, I'll throw a uni of my own hard-earned cash dollars in there with you because that's how much of a fan I am. But let's call a spade, man. This young 29-year-old, 20-something coming out of France is a hell of a striker. puts on nothing but great show after great show. Now, has he been in the winning side of all of those? No, not necessarily. You know, a loss to Chepe Mariscal is certainly no chip off the old block, so I definitely gave that to him. It was a split decision, so one of the judges saw it another way. Came back, beat Gabriel Miranda, big win, left hook, knocked him out. Absolutely, chef's kisses everywhere. But then he lost to Nathaniel Wood 3 months ago. That's a tough L. I really thought he was going to go out there and take care of business, but we know Nathaniel is made of bamboo wood, and that certainly is hard to break. The record's concerning, 20, 11, and 1. And again, you got a guy in front of you who is going to stand in the middle of the octagon and wait for you to make a mistake and capitalize on said mistake. And frankly, even take 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 5 to land his one. And a lot of times that one makes you done, son. I wish I could talk as good as Nate the Train can, but my brother, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going with the Frenchman here. I can't go against Vegas. It is a heavy favorite. We're looking at a minus 270. I guess not too crazy. We've seen heavier here on this fight card. So, again, good dog to take, as always. But, man, this is a tough one, y'all. So, that's all I got to say. I'm going to keep it right there, man, because I don't want to actually continue to bet against Nate the Train, but chugga chugga choo choo, baby. The dog box in the backyard, baby. The dog box in the backyard.
I mean, the dog does bark in the backyard. That's a goddamn fact, my friend. Speaking of dogs barking in the backyard, I said that this has a sneaky attempt at being one of my favorite fights, but realistically, the Coco main event of the evening, I think, is the people's main event of the evening. Right? We have a featherweight bout. We're staying in the same weight class, folks, for a bout between Calvin Kattar, coming in against the one, the only, the legendary Steve Garcia. Nano.
Oh, man.
Who do you have in this one, my guy? Who do you have in this one?
I mean, you just want to hear me say it? You know, I got my boy Steve MF and Garcia. It's changing of the guard here, my brother. It is a changing of the tide. It is, a leaf that is turning over. It is a new season blossoming here. It is the season of that Mean Machine, okay? And I think it might end up being a vintage Steve Mean Machine Garcia performance. And I said that for a few reasons here, right? I mean, I know Calvin Kattar, the Boston finisher, is somebody that has been known notoriously to go out there and take care of business. 23-9 record, and shockingly on a 4-fight losing streak, man. He has not won in over 3.5 years. And when you're sitting here at 37 years old, fighting against a young, hungry buck, 33-year-old, in Steven Garcia, who is on a 5-fight win streak, I'm just hard-pressed to really see how Calvin can, muster up the version of him that we once saw. And let's call it what it is. I mean, in my head, that's, maybe I'm dating myself a little bit, but I'll always remember Calvin Kattar as that guy, right? Who went out there and went toe-to-toe with the Max Holloway. And then I was reminded that, there's levels to this shit, and Max Holloway was the best boxer in the UFC at that time. And that time has come and gone. This is the Mean Machine's time. His leg strikes, I think it's just something that really Calvin, with a traditional boxing background, is just doesn't have an answer for. He's tough as nails. I think his legs will be a balloon, and he will not tap. He will not drop until his whole body's a balloon. But that's what Steven Garcia's going to go out there and do. He's going to beat and bruise up my boy, Calvin Kattar. He's got a chin on him, so I would want to go out on a limb and say Steve Garcia by finish, but I know that's probably not going to happen. Looking at a decision here, win by Steve Garcia. And you're getting him a minus 25. It's really not that juicy, so maybe how are you seeing this, my brother?
Same exact way, man. I think, like, looking at Rob Rex's comment here, fuck, this fight is hard for me to call. Kattar is nice, but it's been a long time since I've seen him look as good as he had. I might sprinkle Garcia even by KO. Haven't looked at those odds yet, though. Like, you can get him straight out at minus 125, and if I'm being honest, Calvin is hard to put away. So with a 3-round fight, I don't think he gets finished. He could. I could be wrong. I have before. But I think the safe bet is minus 125 money line. Like, if you put 1 unit on that, you're getting 1.8 back, so almost 2 for your 1. I'm going to put 5 units on that because I'm very, very bullish on this one. I'm very confident that this one's going to hit. And if you put 5 units on it, you're getting 9 back. Dollars make sense.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, 2 units on Nate, 5 units on Steve. Steve Garcia is probably my most confident pick of the entire fight card. And if I'm being honest, like depending on who they match him up with next, these might be the juiciest odds we get him at for a very long time, folks. He's like a Josh Van in that factor. So I'm taking these odds. I'm scooping up that minus 125. I'm throwing 5 units on it happily. And we're happily moving into the welterweight division for what might end up being a retirement fight, Nano, between Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Gabriel Bonfim. One of them Bonfim boys, you know what I'm saying? The question is he the right Bonfim boy to take out the 42-year-old Stephen Thompson? And I mean, with this being a retirement fight, this might be the right time to pour up another one, my friend. I mean, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is just an absolute legend of the sport. 42 years of age. And I mean, he's done so much in the sport. He's coming in here with a slight reach advantage, but a height disadvantage. So it's an interesting fight. I'm pouring one up because I do think it'll end up being a retirement fight for him. And you know what? I hope on the next episode that we pour one up in victory for our guy, Wonderboy. You know, I love that he had the walkout with Jack Black and Tenacious D. Love that he walks out to the song by Tenacious D every walkout. Like, that's fantastic. And I mean, jumping back to last fight before we call this shot, Lazy Bed. One man is called Mean Machine. The other man's mama called him Calvin. Case closed. Fair point. That's a fair point, Lazy. Again, the name is Lazy. The comments are not, my friend. The comments are not. Nano, do you want to do this cheers for us or what?
Let's do it, my brother. I absolutely will lead this one in honor of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Frankly, I think he's going to take care of business, but do got to raise one up to, the ones that come and go, the legends of the sport, the ones that do it with the utmost integrity, the utmost of skills, and as a champion on and inside and outside the octagon. Maybe he wasn't inside, but hey, we'll take it, man. So cheers to everybody striving for greatness and to, to that next chapter, whatever it may be, as little or as big as it is. We're here with you. Might be nerve-wracking, might be a little uncomfortable, but that's where the growth happens. So cheers to that next chapter, and cheers to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Salute. And cheers to y'all. And cheers to Olin. And just cheers to life, baby. Ooh.
I always tell people when they move on to whatever the next chapter is, even if I don't know what it is, I'll send them a LinkedIn message. I'll say, hey, it's been a pleasure. And no matter what the next chapter is, I hope it's the best chapter in your book so far. So we hope the same for Stephen Wonderboy during this fight and after this fight. Nano, take the lead though, my friend. Now that you've rang up that fucking shot, what are you thinking, my guy? You think Stephen gets it done, huh?
I actually do. I know it sounds crazy and it feels absurd to go against somebody that has a 15-year-old disadvantage, or I should say is 15 years older than his opponent. Anyway, you cut that's pretty much uncle territory. But there is some dad strength involved there. Then we got to keep that in mind. And I think we just have to acknowledge that there's only a few people that can continue to, let's call it what it is, but just compete at the highest level. And I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is one of them. I mean, not to compare him directly with a LeBron James, sounds a little crazy, but they're both 42, okay? And you're still seeing a LeBron James able to do things. I think Wonderboy's similar, man. You can't, the IQ is there, right? I mean, we saw a Demetrius Mighty Johnson, Mighty Mouse, still looked ready to go, still looked juiced to the gills. I feel similar with the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, similar to a Robbie Lawler. There's only a certain class of fighters that can go out on the shield and be victorious. And that's what I think is going to happen, man, for a few reasons, but I think mostly because I just don't know if I see Mr. Bonfim. And I love these Bonfim bros. I love these bros. But I just don't know if he's really at that level yet. This is a big jump. I don't care how old Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is. This is a big, big jump. And we've seen a Nicholas Dalby hurt and put away a Gabriel Bonfim. What is one of the best strikers ever to lace him up? going to do. Maybe not put you away, but he could win point-wise for 15 minutes. And he has good enough defense to kind of neutralize or at least frustrate you, or, hey, even just most minimally win 2 out of 3 rounds. I believe he can with the amount of strikes he possesses, with the movement. Gabriel's really going to have to chase him down. He's going to have to do what you said earlier, cut off the octagon, which takes very high fight IQ, and it's hard to bottle up a bouncing pinball, right? It's hard to bottle up a firework. It's hard to really get a read on somebody that is fluid like water, that does not have a read to get on. So that's where I'm at with it, brother. I like the old bucks here. I picked a few, and I'm sticking with it. Maybe just because I'm 30-something now. Well, 30, but, feeling as if I got to ride with these old folk, the guys in my age class. But I love the skills, and I think injury-wise, he's still there. And, the chin's always a question, but I don't think Gabriel Bonfim necessarily is going to have an easy way to find it come Saturday night. So I'm sticking with Wonder Boy. Now, my bruv, am I crazy? Am I going to be doing a lot of shots here come next week whenever we do get back on schedule? How are you feeling about this co-main event of the evening?
Well, I can tell you 2 things, my friend. I don't think you're crazy, 1. And 2, if you're doing shots next weekend, you won't be doing them solo, brother. Because I'm with you. Plus 320 also, like, it feels disrespectful. It feels pretty disrespectful for Stephen Thompson. And you know what? Let me actually check Next MMA. Shout out Mr. Nice Guy on Twitter. Shout out nextmma.com, one of the better MMA sites here. They actually added a new stat at the request of, I believe, Olaf from the Fight Week show, or one of those guys from the Fight Week show, where they show the odds shift from start to close. And let me just see here. Yeah, it looks like the odds opened a little bit closer, brother. So when the odds opened on 625, Gabriel Bonfim was a minus 360. Stephen Thompson was a plus 285. Fast forward, now we have ourselves a plus 325 on some sports books for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. If you don't think I'm putting a unit on him at plus 320, you're out of your fucking wits, bro. Like, I'll be honest. I'm up so many units on hot dog eating competitions for the 4th of July. I'm tempted to throw 5 units on this dumb fucking bet, bro. Like, it just feels crazy to me. Like, you put 5 units on it, you're getting 21 units back. That's betting money for the next fucking quarter, right? Like, should we take the big bet? What do you think, Nano?
Go big or go home. Shout out America. Shout out those.
We're gonna do it. We're playing with that glizzy money. We're playing with that hot dog money, folks. We're doing it. I'm putting 5 units. Money line plus 320 on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I'm a big fan of this. Odd shift was a Leroy request, but MMA Nice Guy is the mastermind. Let's fucking go. I should have known that was a Leroy request, bro. That's so good. The finish loss rate was an MMAnomaly edition because he had the win finish rate on there, and I was like, you should add the loss finish rate on there. It would help a lot of people with unders or inside the distance bets. And he's like, oh, I actually didn't think about that. It's a great idea. So yeah, Joey Chestnut by submission. No, Lethal Sugar. If you want the insight, don't tell Vegas. Bet the unders. Just bet the unders on everything. What I did is I looked at the last year, and they were basically setting the line at or right around where they finished last year. As a grown ass old man myself, let me tell you, every year that happens, my stomach medication dosage gets stronger, right? Because my digestive situation gets weaker. Okay, so Joey Chestnut, he's not getting any younger. Neither any of these other contestants. Bet the unders. I don't know if they learned their lesson from this year, but hopefully not. I will probably be doing this every time. What you do is you look at the line, you see what they ate last year. If it's set within 3 of last year, you bet the under. Fun fact, I'm going to put this back up here. Joey Chestnut by submission. He almost submitted me. He almost blew both my parlays, the 2-leg and 6-leg. Of all of them, no, I bet a 6-leg parlay. I bet the unders on every one of them. The closest to it was 5. They were 5 under. That's a huge threshold. You know who came closer than that? The only one? This fucking douchebag Joey Chestnut, bro.
The goat. Yeah, the goat. Glizzy guy.
I served that dude fucking like 6 refills of fries, steak fries at Red Robin, like a fucking decade ago.
Oh, shit. 6?
In San Jose. Yeah.
Was he preparing or is he just
He had 2 friends with him, but still, like, he was eating them all, bro. Like,
yeah. No days off. That's
one
fair.
of our busters was like, you know, that's Joey Chestnut, right? And I'm like, well, that fucking tracks. And then I was like, is your name Joey? And he's like, yeah. I was like, sick.
You're like, right on, Joey.
Right on, bro. Right on. The first UFC fighter I ever met was actually at the first Red Robin I worked at, and he took down 3 refills of the sweet potato fries. Good protein. AKA boys.
They are. Hey, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. Joey Chestnut, though, the bet was 71. It was 70.5 under. He hit 70 hot dogs.
Did you watch it? Like, did he just kind of?
No, I was on the beach and I saw both of them say cha-ching.
Oh, jeez.
Because he was the finale, so none of them hit before that.
Right.
It's like, cha-ching, you just won $105. Cha-ching, you just won $75. I'm like, wait.
Hell yeah, I did.
Sick.
Shout out Joey. Damn, that's crazy. That's a good call.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, shout out Hey Jive, Hey Jive Picks. I appreciate you for putting me on that. I'm sorry I didn't follow your picks, but in retrospect, Hey Jive, as a fan, I got to say mine hit. Oh man, I saw that he was betting on it, and I was like, what's the trend here? Like, what's he doing? And I liked some of his bets, but he was going up, down, all around, and I was like, I feel like just betting the unders is going to be a safe play here, brother. And so we went there. And look, Gabriel Bonfim jumping back into the fight. It's like, it's not a safe bet to bet on Stephen Thompson. He is 42 years of age. He's on the wrong side of 35, as we say, almost by a fucking decade. And he's fighting a guy that's 27. He's on the right side of 35 by a long shot, by almost as many years as Stephen Thompson's on the wrong side of it. But what happened last time he fought somebody that had a 74.5 inch reach? You talked about it. Nicholas Danish Dynamite Dalby. That Danish Dynamite exploded in his fucking face, in his mouth, in his fucking everywhere, brother. And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, he's got a half inch more. Now, I know a half inch doesn't seem like a lot, but hey, folks, it is a game of inches. And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's got a half an inch more than the last guy that whooped up on Gabriel Bonfim. I think this is going to be a rinse, wash, and repeat. I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, more than anything, is going to control the distance and cut off the cage, as you said. The angle cutting from Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is some of the best angle cutting and cage cutoffs I've ever seen in my life. As a Muay Thai practitioner, you would think I'd be like, no. Gotta hype up a Muay Thai guy. He's a karate guy. He's the fucking Karate Kid. But I mean, if you actually look, right, like, you can see right here, there's a little signed Karate Kid thing right there. Been a big fan of that for a long time too. So shout out to the real Karate Kid, Stephen Thompson, the real Johnny Lawrence, and the real guy that's probably going to go out here and finish Gabriel Bonfim in the second half of round 3. You can clip that. You can clip that, folks. It's gonna go viral when it hits. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in the last 2.5 minutes of round 3. I don't know why, but maybe it came to me in a dream. I can see it, bro. Like a spinning back wheel kick of sorts, or a 1-2 snap head kick. It's gonna be nasty stuff. And the best thing about it is, Nano, I gotta pull up a comment to just really push the point across. We're playing with that glizzy money, baby.
GMB, baby.
GMB. I say it all the time, Morty. And with that being said, folks, I mean, I could say it, but instead I'd really rather the man, the myth, the legend, the best at saying it, say it.
It's time
For the main event of the evening, folks. That is right. It is a heavyweight bout between Derrick, the Black Beast Lewis, coming in against Tallison Teixeira. I mean, come on. He is the little brother of Glover Teixeira, but little is only in terms of his age. My goodness. Dude is huge. He's 6'6". That's a 4-inch height advantage on Derrick Lewis. And 4 inches in reach on Derrick Lewis as well. Like, it is just wild. The size difference of these guys. And then if you look at the weight, I believe last weigh-in, Tallison laid in around 255, 258. Derrick usually weighs in at the cutoff at 265. How is he so much smaller, yet so much larger, Nano?
I mean, yeah, that's a good example of just how people wear their weight differently, right? I always get amazed by some of the sizes of these individuals, big or small, and their ability to squeeze down or get on the scale and weigh what does not look. If you just look at the eyeball test, honestly, both these guys are huge. I think the reality is if we see either of these individuals at a bar, at a pub, just walking down the street, I mean, they're both 6'3 plus, 6'7 for homeboy. I would think he's a friggin' football player. We saw a few in Vegas. Definitely just look a little different. Same with Derrick's hot balls, Lewis. I'd see both those individuals and I would try not to make eye contact. And again, I think I used the expression just big as shit earlier. That's they are just BIS, if I ever had to categorize it.
Built like a brick shithouse.
Well said. Goddamn right.
That's what we say all the time in the South, man. That man is built like a brick shithouse. Holy fuck. Solid. And built for durability. Now, this is one of those fights, again, folks, where I don't know about you, Nano, but I'm not going to be betting on. Like, minus 278 for Tallison is just not fun for me. Coming in against a legend and a veteran like Derrick Lewis, but also like plus 225 is not juicy enough for Derrick Lewis to come in against such a big guy. I mean, I don't know kind of where the cards fall, but for me, I feel like Tallison Teixeira has a more well-rounded game. He's longer, he's bigger. I think the only thing Derrick Lewis really brings to this, or the only two things he brings to this, are strength and knockout power. Right? He's definitely the stronger guy. I would say that. I would argue that. And I would say that he's got the more knockout power. I would definitely argue that. But man, hold on. Rob Rex. What? You what, mate? My Wonder Boy round 3 finish is plus 4,000. LOL. Dropping a unit on that. I literally called for the round 3 finish. I'm literally following you that. I'm following you there. Round props. Oh my God. Did I pick the best line of the fucking fight card here?
That's pretty rad. Shout out, Rob.
I mean, mine is plus 2,800, but I'm still going to hit that. Oh, I mean. No, a fifth of a unit or a half a unit? What do you think?
Ooh, we can go halfers on it. I like that.
So a half unit wins 14.5 units. I love that.
Juicy.
I love that for us. Oh, man. Already got those locked in and sent to the bookie, and I think we're good on that, man. I'm happy with that one. Rob Rex. I need to add a wrench to your fucking name, my guy, because you are just helping us out in spades, my guy. Yeah, I don't know how you're feeling about this one, Nano, but I like Tallison. I think he's young, he's strong, he's got a great corner around him, and just a great coaching staff around him. Not a lot of yes men, but a lot of veteran men. And this is a solo man sport. Like a lot of people, myself included, say they enjoy it because it's not a team man sport. But it takes a village to get you there. And he's got a really good fucking village, right? So, Nato, what are your thoughts on this? Like, do you think Derrick Lewis, do you think Vegas got it right at him being a plus 225 here?
I was definitely a little surprised to see it. As I typically do, I do not look at the odds as I'm doing my breakdown, as not until we are live here and I'm pulling up their profiles and I get a look. I'm on DraftKings, obviously hard to ignore. I was a little surprised to see that. I thought it'd be closer to a pick'em, especially going after some of the other fights in general. But I think that is kind of just to reiterate the point, and what you do see on tape is just it's a big, violent man in Tallison Teixeira. Not to mention he is younger. Not to mention he's also ranked already. Like, I haven't really heard much about him. He's ranked 12th in the heavyweight division, so it's not like he's coming in totally unknown. Where, you know, I'd look at some of the other game tape or some of his other fights in previous leagues, and you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt most of the time. But like, he's been able to do it in the UFC octagon as well, and just with where Derrick Lewis is in his career, and at 40 years old, another 15-year age gap. I know I sat up here and might have contradicted myself just 5-10 minutes ago, but not this time, right? I mean, I'm going to hedge my own bets here and take the young buck who, in the heavyweight division, who has proven to have some skills. He can be nasty, even if especially if it's at range. I mean, he's fucking 6'7", so he's going to really be able to own the octagon. And then if it does getting close, he's going to have the ability to, use some elbows, use the Muay Thai clinch. And I just see Derrick Hot Lewis, getting a little too hot in the ball region too soon and just tapping out, or frankly, just not being able to weather the storm. He's going to go out there and try to land the big shot. He's going to try to bait him into something. Derrick Lewis, that is, trying to bait Tallison into a mistake. But I think Tallison is ready for the big stage. He's, I'm sure, seeing some big power, though Derrick Lewis has been historically known as one of the heaviest punchers ever in the UFC. At 40 years old, does he still have it? That is going to be the question. And certainly he can land it, but it's going to be harder. Like you talked about, my brother, punching up and having to walk backwards and try to counter somebody in the first round. Great chance. Second round, hardly a chance. Third round, potentially no chance with the Derrick Hot Balls Lewis. So we're going to know early and often how this is going to go, but I just have a feeling, man, the young buck here who's 8-0, who's proven to be special and has the tape to back it up, unfortunately might just make a name for himself and might turn into the new legend killer as we, again, turn the tide here in the heavyweight division and in other divisions as well, man. It's the only constant is change, and the only undefeated fighter is Father Time. So with that, I'll pass it back to my brother.
Did Cody, the AST at Yelp, teach you the only constant is change as well?
I mean, I'm sure that's where that definitely started. I knew it was from the Yelp days, but that's definitely it.
Mustache Cody. That's where I learned it from, bro.
We were in the same training class, so I wouldn't be surprised.
In the same training class. We both got asked by that same person to stop responding to questions to give other people a chance. We are those teachers' pets, that's for sure. Look, Sterling, if you're still in the chat, my guy, I know you don't want to hear this. I'm gonna smash your boy. I know you don't like this. Tallison Teixeira is a bad matchup. Just stylistically, I don't think he's good for Glover, and it's almost tailor-made for Tallison to build a name for himself, right? Like, I think he goes out here and gets a knockout over Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis is very, very ballsy, sometimes in the best ways and sometimes in the worst ways. Like Foghorn Leghorn says it best. It's the best of times, I'll say it's the worst of times when Derrick Lewis fights. He's going to go out there, he's going to get a knockout, or he's going to go out there and he's going to get knocked out, I'll say. And that's what's going to happen, right? Like, I would say that there's like a 30% chance that Derrick Lewis goes out there and gets a knockout. There's a 70% chance he goes out there and gets knocked out. Like, it's simply that simple, bro. I'm 70-30 on this one, man. I said it out loud already, bro. I gotta go with the guy, the man, the myth, the legend. But am I betting on him? Like, he's minus 278. He's coming in there against the legend. I just don't know that I got the juice on it. I feel confident in our other bets, and I don't want to water them down with this one. So I'm going to stay away from this one from a betting perspective. I mean, the under on this seems like a good bet, but you'd have to bet the under 1.5 to get any kind of juice on those odds at minus 220. Not for me, bro. I'm going to stay away from them. Instead, I'll happily do a shot with my co-host and just keep my money in my pocket and hopefully facilitate multiplying it across the Saturday, right?
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've got one poured up. He's got one poured up. I saw him do it preemptively. This is it. This is the end of the show. We've already gone over all the fights. We appreciate each and every one of you. There's over 20 of you watching right now. Probably a little bit more in between and, a little bit less at the start, but we appreciate you keeping on going and keeping on growing throughout the stream. And we'd appreciate you if you are drinking a drink with us. If you're not, that's fine too. Raw dog some air, go out, hug a stranger, make somebody's day. Either way, whatever you're doing, we appreciate you do it with a smile on your face and you do it with us. So cheers to you. Cheers for being here and for being a part of the MMAnomaly family. We appreciate you, each and every one of you. Cheers.
We love you. Cheers. Salud.
And with that being said, folks, that's it. That's the show. We have gone over the entirety of UFC Fight Night Lewis versus Teixeira, a.k.a. UFC Nashville. It is going to be a great time. Something we didn't even mention is that Nate, the train Landwehr, going back to his old stomping grounds of home. Nashville backyard. I mean, come on, folks. If you weren't already tailing that bet, now's the time. Sorry, Nano, but get fucked. I love you.
He's back.
He's back. You know what I'm saying? That being said, folks, if you haven't already done it, I'm going to say it. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. And if you do nothing we've asked you to do this entire time, definitely don't follow our bets. We're not a betting show. We're a fun show, right? And all the other stuff we've asked you to do along the way, that's fine too. We don't care if you follow that. All that we care is that you do these last two things, and that's this, folks. We ask that you keep on going and you keep on growing, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again, folks.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.